EGM Network.
Treasure Coast Connector. Connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. This episode is proudly sponsored by Libby Weissman and her team at Senior Transition Navigator and Luxury Homes of the Treasure Coast. They work with seniors and their families with all sorts of transitioning services. And I'm talking about downsizing, decluttering, packing, moving, relocation, real estate sales, and more. For a free consultation, give Libby a call at 772-783-2800 or visit seniortransitionnavigator.com or luxuryhomesofthetreasurecoast.com. Now, our home is our biggest asset, and maintaining it is very important. And when something goes wrong, isn't it nice to know who you're going to call for a repair before something happens, of course. Now, we're going to talk about our home's electrical system because when it comes to our lights, air conditioning, and a cold refrigerator, those things are not overrated at all. And joining me in the studio today to talk about this is Roland Grigley, and he is an electrical contractor, and his company is Roland's Electric, and he's got a lot of great information to share. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm glad I got that right because we're going to talk later about the difference between an electrician and an electrical contractor.
And also the difference between a state licensed contractor, which I am, and a county licensed contractor.
Oh, okay, very good. So we're going to get into that. But what I'd like for people to know is what made you even want to become an electrical contractor and then actually start your own company?
When I was 18, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I had bad self-esteem, and I didn't know that I was smart.
You are smart.
Yes, you know me, but
Yeah.
I didn't know it then. I got a bunch of different jobs, and when you work in construction and you don't know what you're doing, which I didn't, I'm 18, they didn't say, hey, don't worry, you don't know what you're doing. The word was, hey, you're stupid.
Oh.
No, it's
Yeah.
construction. Get over it.
Yeah.
You can't be a sissy.
Yeah.
So one day I got a job working with an electrician. I took to it like a duck takes to water. I was so amazed at how cool stuff. If you can't sleep at night, I'll tell you how fun it is to do a three-way switch.
Okay.
I'll put you right to sleep. Also, if you're bored, still, I'll give you some history stuff.
Okay.
Like I'll tell you about Germany from 1870, 1880, how they industrialized. But I'm not going to talk about that now because I don't want you to go to sleep.
Well, you can make a Toastmaster speech about that.
I will.
Okay,
I'll
good.
put them to sleep.
Okay. No.
Okay. So I worked with a guy, and he taught me a bunch of stuff, but the economy in New Jersey was slow. So I moved to North Carolina and went to a trade school, learned to be an electrician. And the guys I was saying, they said, who are you going to work for afterwards? I said, either this company or that company. I really don't care. Well, I'll get one of them. And they go, how come you don't care? I go, well, in my heart, I want to be an electric contractor. And they said, why would you want to do that? So much responsibility. And I thought, why would you not want to be the boss?
Yeah.
And all of them, there's about 30 of us graduated together. And all 30 were like, all 29, not me, because I can do math. All 29 says, dude, don't do that. But I became a contractor at 23, which I didn't know I was young. Most of them get to be contractors around 30, 35, 40, something like that.
Yeah, okay.
But I did it at 23. I learned as I was doing it, some of the guys I hired knew more than me. It was cool because I learned from them.
Yeah.
They were like, how can you be a contractor and not know this? And I didn't say these words.
Because I'm smart enough to hire you.
Oh, I should have said that. This is what I didn't say. I didn't say, so you're 50, how come you don't have a license? I didn't say that. I just say, well, So, but I got smarter and smarter.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing to do, I have a wife.
Laurie.
She's so nice.
And she's beautiful too, I have to say. She's lovely, sweet, and beautiful.
She doesn't think she is.
Oh my goodness.
No, she has a sister who she thinks cuter. That's what happens. So, but I think she's gorgeous. I've always told her that. I said, I love your mouth. She has great eyes. I love her mouth, though. I like her hair. I like her.
Yeah,
And
you like her.
She's a great personality, too.
And she works with you. She
runs
keeps,
my business.
I was just going to say, you're out there in the field and she does all the other. Yeah.
This is what she does. Everything. This is what I do. Except I do the electric work. I get the checks. I get the permits. And she does everything else. And people would ask me technical questions about my business. So I give my wife's phone number and say, here, I don't know.
Yeah, talk to my manager.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I say talk to my boss.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah,
even
we know,
better.
we
Very
know,
smart. You're very smart.
We're 50-50 on the business, officially.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. No, I think that's great. Now, when it comes to...
Oh, I forgot to mention, I have
Go ahead.
7 kids.
I know, 7 kids, and oh my gosh, and you are such a family man. And how many grandkids?
I have 12 grandkids, and a month ago, I have a great-granddaughter,
Wow.
and my mother-in-law is still alive. So there's 5 generations happening.
Love that.
That's pretty cool.
That is wonderful. But now what I want to do is I want to talk about our homes, because I know, I said to my husband when we bought our home, anything that goes wrong with electrical, water, or roof, they get fixed immediately. If something happens that a door is squeaky, it can wait a couple of days. But those 3 things, right? So now when it comes to the electrical system, what should homeowners do to actually be good to the electrical system of their house? Because obviously they're not electricians, they can't do repairs, but what can they do to keep things running smoothly? And what should they not do to
Okay.
their electrical system?
I'm going to change the question for a second.
Go right
Do you
ahead.
mind?
Like table topics, go right
Yes,
ahead.
here we
Please
go.
do.
This is, if you got little problems in the house, instead of calling an electrician, here's what you do. How's that? Even better, huh?
Yes,
Yeah, you
yes.
save money. Sometimes your bathroom receptacle might not work, but it's not a GFI. Well, guess what? There's probably a GFI downstream. So go in the other bathrooms and see if it's there. If it's an older house, go in the garage and see if there's a GFI receptacle there. Push that in and it'll work again.
Oh,
On the outside receptacles, if they're not working and they're not GFIs, go in the garage. There'll be a GFI there, push that in and it'll work again. In the kitchen, since 1996, all the receptacles in the kitchen are GFI protected. So one GFI might protect 3 or 4. So you plug in this one, you go, this isn't working. What do? Do I go to panel box? That's second. First, you go look around for the other GFIs and push them in and it'll start working again.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good.
So-
Okay.
oh.
No, I do like that. And then here in
Oh,
Florida, go
can I hear
ahead. No,
another one?
please. Yes,
All
please,
right.
please.
Say you're in a bedroom and you go in the panel box and you go, everything seems good. Put your finger on the 15 or 20 amp breakers, just a single pole, the ones not too tied together.
Okay.
And one of them's going to seem looser. Turn that all the way off, turn it back on. Then it'll work. So sometimes you don't have to call an electrician. You go, what breaker's bad? So many times wives say to me, oh, I impressed my husband. Because I call them up, they call me up and they go, my GFI's not working, or my bathroom's not working. Say, go push the GFI receptacle. And they fix it, and then they make fun of their husbands.
Yeah.
Hey, I am a better electrician than you.
Aw. Yeah.
So sometimes it's, oh, this is so funny. I had a customer, he's from Utah, and he has a house, it's kind of a house people would have a wedding at. Big house, big yard, big pool, everything's cool. So last time he was there, he saw a receptacle smoking. And then pressure washers washed it, and the water got in it and started smoking really bad.
Oof.
And so they called me and I fixed it. And I told him about it, and he says, oh, it was smoking before. And I thought to myself, And I'm not sure if I said it or not. I know I thought it. You might want to fix that before if it's smoking. He goes, yeah, it was smoking when last time I was here. I'm thinking, really? So that's a simple one. If anything burns, if you hear pop and it gets all black, you might want to see it,
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is, if anything like that happened, I would probably turn off all the electricity to the house and then I have you on speed dial. I would be so scared because electricity you really don't want to mess with. And in Florida, right, we have 2 seasons. We have warm and hot officially. I think that's the official names of the seasons. And heat does do a lot of, or puts a lot of wear and tear, on our homes. So other early warning signs to watch out for, please.
There's bad panel boxes that they say you can't use these anymore. The insurance companies don't like it.
Okay.
And if you try to sell the house, every insurance agent knows the breakers. And they say, oh, you can't have that. You have to change it before we could sell it. And number one bad thing, it makes people go,
show and tell now.
It's called Federal Pacific. And the panel box cover will say Federal Pacific, and then it also say Stab Lock. And see how there's red here? That's always a clue.
Okay.
That it might be, because the bad ones turned out to be, they have colors on them.
Oh.
Whereas the good ones don't have colors. They're just black and white.
Black and white. Okay.
So this is Federal Pacific. This is Federal Pacific. Ooh, ah. And the other one's called Zensko, Sylvania Zensko. Zensko is the name of the breaker. See the different color breakers?
Yeah.
Instead of just being black?
Yeah, red and green.
And or the insurance companies won't, they will not
cover
that.
Yeah.
And homeowners, the real estate people know it too. And they say, hey, there's another one called Challenger. That one looks like a normal breaker.
Okay.
But it says Challenger on the box. And when they first came out with it, I went to a place and said, we're not selling the good ones you like. We're selling Challenger instead for different reasons. And I said, great, I'm not coming here anymore.
Sure.
And he goes, why not? I go, I know a good breaker from a bad breaker. That's a bad breaker. I don't need to, you know. I said, this won't last. I could just tell. So some insurance companies like Challenger, some don't. It's one of those weird things.
Yeah, but I like that, you really care about the quality of, the components that you're working with. And we're going to get into that in the second half. But before we go to commercial break, tell people your web address and your phone number, please, for the first half of the show.
My phone number is 772-696-6236. And my web address is The Vero Electrician.
The Vero Beach Electrician.com.
Oh,
The Vero Beach Electrician.
I don't go on it often.
Yeah, that's okay. I did a little research and
thanks for helping me out.
No worries. Okay. So, I'm looking at the wrong camera. We have a new studio here and I don't even know what I'm doing. I've only been here for 5.5 years, but we have a lot more to discuss, Roland, Grigley, and I of Roland's Electric. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's the longest-running seafood festival in the Southeast, the Grant Seafood Festival. 2 days of live music and seafood to make your taste buds dance. March 1st and 2nd, over 150 crafters. Admission and parking are free. As always, the Grant Seafood Festival is 100% volunteer-run. All proceeds benefit the Grant community. The Grant Seafood Festival, March 1st and 2nd. Powered by Gary Yeoman's Ford Palm Bay. Maps and details at grantseafoodfestival.com.
Create your island paradise at Sunshine Furniture during our winter sale event. Save 50% on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington, including the newest collection, Key Biscayne. Living room, dining room, occasional chairs, office, and media furniture with sophisticated design and a mix of coastal and Caribbean style. All Tommy Bahama and Lexington offer everything you need for your Florida living. We have the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture from Four Seasons, Capri, Universal, Riverside, Hooker, Seawinds, Barcalounger, Best, and lots more. At Sunshine Furniture, we're the outdoor furniture experts specializing in patio sets that withstand the Florida elements, and we have a gallery of Berlin Garden and Bollywood. Come in now for the best prices of the year. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach. Don't miss the 50% off winter sale on Tommy Bahama and Lexington going on now. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and visit our outlet store directly across the street.
Nobody outpowers America, and nobody outperforms the lawnmowers and power equipment at More Motors. Discover great products made in the USA by Bobcat, Hustler, Cub Cadet, and Steel Power Equipment. All backed with local service and parts, going on 40 years serving the Treasure Coast. More Motors has an American-made lawnmower for you. 5135 US 1 Vero Beach. Anything and everything it takes to make tall grass short. More Motors.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I've been chatting with Roland Grigley of Roland's Electric, and now we have the second half of the show, and we have a lot more to discuss. And now what I really want to talk about is the services that you offer and the service area that you cover.
Oh.
Because there's a lot of services.
I was thinking, okay, I'll tell you, and then I'll go back to what I like to do.
Okay, well, you know what? No.
Let me tell you what I like to do?
Yes, say
Okay.
what you like to do.
Okay, what I do is, if there's non-working receptacles, lights, switches, that's my favorite thing.
Okay.
I like it because I'm a detective. Also, if you plug in a receptacle and it falls out all the time, those receptacles probably need to be changed. And when I say probably, they do.
Oh, yeah.
The best receptacle in your house is the refrigerator or the garage plug-in, because once you plug it in, you don't unplug it.
Yeah, you leave
But
it
the
alone.
ones you plug in a lot and unplug, like say in the bathroom, they plug a lot, or sometimes in the hallway, every week you plug in the vacuuming knot and pull it in and out. That receptacles, they get worn out. Some of my favorite things to do is I change panel boxes. I upgrade panel boxes when they're old and nicky, or if they have these kind of breakers. I change those. I hang ceiling fans. I wire stuff for portable generators.
Pools, the motors for the pools and things.
Yes, if there's problems with that, I do pools. Hey, thank you for helping me.
Yeah, very good. I read the website.
I was a
read
pool
the-
electrician. That's why. I rewire kitchens. Sometimes they'll have an open floor plan to tear down the wall between the kitchen and the dining room, and the living room, and they'll expand stuff, and I'll put in new receptacles or get rid of what was on the wall.
Yeah.
A lot of times there's fluorescent lights, the 4-foot fluorescent lights. They go bad. Sometimes you can tell they're going bad. You hit the switch and the light doesn't come on, and 5 minutes later comes on. That's a bad ballast.
Okay.
So I bypass the ballast electrically, and then I put in these LED bulbs that last 20 years and use like half or a third of electricity.
I like that.
So, and they produce no heat. So a lot of times, like people are changing the bulbs to LED, which is great because it makes the house cooler, the air conditioning. Besides, an LED bulb uses 9, if it's a 60-watt bulb, it only uses 9 watts. And so it also produces no heat. So the advantage of a LED bulb is, 1/6 of the electricity, and as the light bulbs can heat up the house.
Right, right.
So it's cool to have that done.
I like that. And then what about with electric cars?
Oh, it's written right here.
It's right there, and it's on your website too. Yeah.
I do. They're called EV chargers, which EV stands for electrical vehicles. That's a fun thing to do. I like doing that, and I say, where are you going to park the car? So it's easy to get to, and they always give you a 25-foot cord. So I tell them that, but sometimes the easiest thing is to put under the panel box. But if it won't reach, or they're parking in a different spot, I'll move the power up in the attic, through the attic, down the wall, and then put an EV charger there. A couple of times people want them outside.
Interesting. Is it now? I have a carport, so I would definitely, if I were to get an EV type car, I would want it like in the carport. Even though I don't park in there,
Right.
at least I could pull the thing out. It's 25 feet, so that would be good.
And
Is
I
it?
would put a bubble cover around it. The bubble cover
I was going to
goes
ask.
all the way around.
Yeah.
And the only way water's going to get in it is somehow it hits the ground and goes up. It just doesn't go in, because the only
Right.
way in is a little hole for the wire to come out.
But
So,
it would be safe to have it in a garage, right?
Any place you want, yeah.
Okay. All right.
In the garage, we don't have to do the bubble cover, but outside we
Right.
do.
Right. Okay. No, I like that. Now, you have been in business for a very long time, which means that you do a very good job. So you were in the Orlando area, and now you've been here on the Treasure Coast for quite a while. And you live up to your promises. You're not one of those contractors that says, I'll do your repair on this day and time, and then you like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to, do it this day, and just keep changing appointments and things like that. So tell us a little bit about your customer service, because you pride yourself on that. I remember shortly after I met you talking about that.
One of the things I do is I answer my phone. It shocks people.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, electrician who shocks people. That's not good.
Oh, that's he likes puns too, Cindy.
Yes, I
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. She's distracted me.
No, that's
okay.
That's okay.
I thought of 50 jokes, but I'm not saying it. Speaking of not being distracted.
Yeah.
The question was, yeah, I answer my phone, and I'm so good at it. And people are always shocked that I'm answering my phone, like, whoa, you answered. I thought you could. Sometimes I answer and they're thinking, I thought you were a voicemail. And it's like, oh, it's me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the funny thing. I don't have a grown-up voice. I have a teenage voice, so early 20s. When I show up, they're looking at me like, okay, who's the guy that answered the phone? I go, that's me. And they go, no. Because I think I haven't matured.
Well, you just have a fun view of life.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A positive outlook on life. Now the difference.
Oh, I like.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like people. So,
that is true.
I do. When I meet people, I like them. Sometimes, because I read history so much, I saw a lady from Cameroon.
Okay.
Just recently. And I heard the accent, and I go, I like your accent. I said, but you're not from the Caribbean islands. And she goes, I'm not. I says, West Africa? She goes, yeah. I said, what country? She says, Cameroon. So I said, oh, did your great-grandmother speak German? And she says, yes, I did. She did. I said, I know. She goes, how did you know? I said, before 1917, Cameroon was owned by Germany.
Oh, wow.
And they lost it during the war, and then it divided between France and England and whatever. And she says, yeah, I was in the English part. I said, good. And then she looks at me and she goes, you're not an American. I mean, Americans don't know geography.
Oh, yeah.
So I told her I was.
But you're just a history buff. But one thing, because we only have a couple minutes left, is I want to know about the difference between the electrician and electrical contractor, and then you said the state versus county. So just talk a little bit about that.
I'm going to talk about electrician and a handyman.
Okay.
A handyman is just guessing his way through. He might have done electric work 3 years ago for someone. Now he's working on your stuff. I hope he can figure it out. If he can't,
yeah, scary.
It's scary. And a lot of times when the home inspectors come around, they'll look at the stuff and they'll flunk it, and they'll have an electrician come fix it. And you can say, who did this? And it was some handyman. And what's he good at? Oh, he's good at a lot of things. Like, oh, yeah, not so much electric. I think he's good at a lot of things, but not deeper.
Yeah.
So they mess it up, and the guys catch it and they fix it. Electrician can't pull a permit, and he can't kind of work.
Okay.
And most electricians start out as county electricians. A state which means you can work in that county, but you have to kind of beg the other county to let you in. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't.
Okay. All right. We have 60 seconds to finish this question.
And I'm a state electrician. I can work any place in Florida.
Okay. That is good, because, yes, you will still go out to the Orlando area because you have friends and family out there that I know, but you also have a following here now.
Yeah.
So, but you know what I want you to do is give your phone number again in the second half for the people that are on iHeartRadio and the podcasts, please.
Okay. My phone number is 772-696-6236.
And I like that on your website it says, our prices won't shock you. I like to see, Cindy, another pun. That was really good. So, yeah.
Can I tell you my favorite pun?
Yes, go ahead.
It's for plumbers.
Okay, go ahead.
Bob's Plumbing, where a flush beats a full house every time.
Yes, very good. So now we have 1 minute. And so what I want to make sure is I want people, before I sign off, I want people to know that you are very dependable, reliable. Omar and I are not going to consider talking to any other electrician other than you. I just want you to know. And for everyone out there, I'm looking at the wrong camera again, Libby Weissman, Senior Transition Navigator, luxuryhomesofthetreasurecoast.com. She is a proud sponsor of this episode. episode. And if you need help, I want you to reach out to her it's a no obligation free consultation, 772-783-2800 for all things regarding senior transition. She and her team are amazing. Again, Roland, thank you very much. My name is Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector. I hope everyone has a safe, productive, wonderful week. And until next week, I miss you already.